Awesome. So recently, and I guess the news comes so fast. People are talking about the impact of artificial on the economy and on jobs. How do you see AI affecting jobs, and how should companies prepare?
Well, there are lots of reports, lots of interesting reports that I think every listener should check out. The first report that I think everyone should study carefully is the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, right? It details all of the most important skills, of course, one of them being prompt engineering or AI delegation, as they call it there, which is about 21% of the most important skills. That's over 100, 21% of the most important skills that everyone should know going into 2025. The second report that I think is really important is the Microsoft Work Trend Index report, right? That's also a very clear report that details, how we're going to evolve with this man-machine consciousness, right? Yeah. Then there's a third report from the Boston Consulting Group, right? In that report, you see things like 86% of workers, right? And 86% of 1.2 billion knowledge workers is a lot of numbers. Yeah. Right? There's a huge training need opening up, right? So these three reports from the Boston Consulting Group, from the World Economic Forum, and from Microsoft, they paint a beautiful picture of what is actually happening. But I think that the most important thing that anyone can do now is to experiment with these tools. There's a company in the US called Clearbit, right? And even OpenAI encourages this approach. So what they did is they bought GPT-4 license for all of their employees, all their staff. And then they got somebody from OpenAI to come show them different use cases, about 40 different use cases. Now, I would add to that. Approach by saying that when you buy GPT-4 license for your employees, you ought to create a community of practice, right? Yeah. Because you go on Twitter every now and then, or LinkedIn, and you see PDF guides of this is how you achieve this, or this is how you achieve that. It is possible for say if it's a large corporation, your project managers to define new ways of doing things with these AI tools, or operations teams to define new ways of doing things with these tools. Now, but there's also something that can happen. It's called automation neglect. Automation neglect is a concept that it's been there for a long time, but in the last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks, it's come up again. So at Harvard Medical School, about 180 radiologists were paired with expert level AI. And they were of course, you've given them this tool, like you mentioned earlier, you're supposed to cancel out the capacity for advantage and help the weak people become really super at their job. But what was observed is that it didn't quite work out. And instead of improving, they didn't move. Performance did not budge. It didn't move. It didn't improve. And the reason is because they had a bias called automation neglect. So they believe that their level of expertise is far superior to whatever any machine can tell them. Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. And then again, and then to combat this, it's now important again to go back to the Clearbit approach which I talked about. You have to bring somebody in who understands how the model was built. Like tell these people, like for the radiologists, if they understood that this model was built by subject matter experts, radiologists like you identified different data, they labeled the different data sets that we used to train this. And this is wisdom of, let's say, I don't know, the last 50 years. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Then they would respect themselves enough to know that, look, this is a reflection of us. We're looking into the mirror by using this tool. So that's
yeah, that's very interesting that people would sort of want to ignore the tool until they understand it. So what do you call it? Automation neglect?
Yes, automation neglect.
Okay.
Yes.